Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start this show off the same way we start every episode, with a moment of gratitude. I know that you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending it with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with it.
How's she cotton, me loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
All right, we're back. I'm excited about today's guest. I'm excited about all my guests, but this gentleman is running for mayor. So I'm excited to have him here. As you know, I don't introduce my guests because they can do a better job at that than myself. So on that note, sir, can you please introduce yourself to the people at home?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show, Elliot.
You're more than welcome.
It's a pleasure to be invited. My name is Mike Allen. I'm a long-term resident of Fort McMurray.
Right.
And I've made the decision to run for mayor. This is obviously not my first election, and I've been involved in public service for about 17 years now. So
Right.
It is a calling, and I felt that the timing was good for me right now.
Right.
Unfortunately, I had to close my business last year.
Right.
So I find myself in a position where I can now dedicate 100% of my time to the job.
There you go.
And I have lots to do yet.
That's awesome, man. Cool. Okay, well, before we jump into the politics and what you want to potentially, what your platform is and how the race is going, I like to learn about the individual themselves. So let's chat about yourself. So when did you come to Fort McMurray? Are you born here? I know you've been here forever, but let me hear a little bit about like your origin story.
Well, I'm a long timer by some measurements and a newbie by others. You know,
Okay.
So I moved my family here in 1993.
Okay.
And my kids at the time were 3 and 5.
Okay.
So they graduated high school and then went off to university. And,
Right.
and now I have 3 beautiful grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
As a
Congratulations.
result of the 2. Unfortunately, my daughter lives in Australia now, has for the last 5.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And she just had twin girls in November. So
Oh, that's exciting.
unfortunately, with the borders being closed with COVID,
Right.
I have not been able to meet my new granddaughters yet, except through Skype and
Wow.
Facebook. But it's we're very excited. Hope to get down there next year.
No doubt.
Sometime. But it's what can I say? I moved here not with a 5-year plan, but a lifelong plan.
Okay,
To
that's very
operate
different.
A family business.
Okay.
I've been here since '93 and haven't worked a day in the oil sands per se, or with any of the service industries.
Yeah.
I came for the opportunity to purchase Campbell's Music
Okay.
and operate a family business.
Right. Right.
So it took off very quickly.
Yeah.
And we were very focused on that. So,
Yeah.
the community's been very good to me
Mm-hmm.
over those years. We grew very dramatically in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
And to a point where we had 2 locations and then had to keep expanding. So
That's right.
we moved on to Franklin Avenue in 2005, and
Yeah.
it just kept going from there.
Yeah, you guys were across the street from where Mitchell's is, the original one, right?
That was, well, actually,
That was the location.
you know, when we were on Franklin Avenue in the Hill Drugs building,
Right.
The
That's right.
basement there was where Campbell's Music originated.
Oh, okay.
Murray Campbell moved here in 1976 to
Okay.
operate what was then Lillo's Music.
Yeah.
And so he was managing it, and then his family purchased the company from Vic Lillo.
Okay.
And 4 years later, he felt the need to expand because it was a very small local retail where he also did music lessons.
Right.
And so he built the building on the corner of Manning and Main, across from what is Mitchell's now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The original police barracks.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Okay. And so, how did you hear about it? Like, is this a family member that reached out to you and said this is an opportunity, or?
No, I was at a point where I was working for Domtar Chemicals Group at the time.
Okay.
And selling salt.
Okay.
So the Sifto salt brand.
Interesting.
And I did that for about 8 years, but I was on the road all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a young family.
Yeah.
And I felt I was just missing out on that.
Yeah.
And I read this opportunity in the Edmonton Journal.
No way.
It was a small musical instrument store looking for a working partner with the intention of buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I was coming up to make a regular trip up to Fort McMurray.
Right.
A regular sales trip.
Okay.
And so I made arrangements to meet Murray Campbell, and we went out for dinner, saw the store, and I just walked in, and there was a grand piano on the riser with lights shining on it, and quite a variety of instruments and computers as well, because he used to sell Amiga computers.
That's right. Yep.
So I went, I looked in, and in my mind, I just said, I could do this.
Yeah.
So about a month later, I drove my family up here, and we met with Murray and his wife, and went out for dinner, and toured the community, and it was probably a community of about 30,000 people.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah, but it was and it was quiet. It was a slower time in the economy.
Yeah.
At the time, of course, back then, Suncor was even considering shutting down.
That's right. There was a strike.
It was just before then.
Yeah.
And then there was, they had hired someone to come in and either make it successful or, and if you didn't turn it around, we're shutting it down.
That's right.
But oil was very low per barrel.
That's right.
And so we didn't really know what the future was, but I looked at the community and said, this community is going to be here a long time. There is opportunity, and this was an opportunity for me to have my family here and see them every day.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So when it comes to musical instruments and being a musician, obviously you would have had to have a passion for this prior to. So what kind of instruments do you play, and how did you get involved in music?
I always say I could fake my way through a demo on anything.
Okay.
But my primary instrument is brass instruments.
Right.
I was a professional jazz trombonist.
Okay.
In Edmonton.
Yeah.
For about 12 years.
When you say professional, what does that mean?
I was paid.
Yeah.
We toured a bit, but I did a lot of television and studio. I played with the Tommy Banks Live show, and Zen Magus, Big Miller. There was a number of a lot of big band stuff, but the television and studio work was where was really the bread and butter.
Right.
In part, it ended up being part-time.
Yeah.
And I was like any other musician that has a passion.
Yeah.
It's your love. You go after it, and you play till the money runs out.
That's right.
But really, at one point, I decided I'd rather eat, so I had to get a real job.
Okay.
And but I've had an interesting career path. You know, I worked for Canadian Linen Supply for about 6 years, and then I worked for Domtar for 8.
Right.
And then this opportunity came up.
Right.
So
Right.
So if you can play brass instruments, can you play Careless Whisper on the saxophone?
I can't. Saxophone would be considered a woodwind instrument, so I can certainly make a noise and I can play a scale, but I can. But I'm not. I don't consider myself to be a woodwind player at all.
What about harmonica?
Yeah. Harmonica, yeah, I can play that. Piano, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably the 5th guest that's come on this show right now. I have a nice harmonica, and I want to learn how to play it, and I've exhausted what I can get out of YouTube, and I'm still horrible at it. I need a physical person to go to once a week and be like, okay, Elliot, let's do this. So if you know any harmonica teachers, please put them in contact with me.
I will let you know there is a series of books out there called "You Can Teach Yourself to Play."
You think
and
so?
It comes with a CD, comes with, and it's they're
Okay.
very well written. But that would certainly be another opportunity.
Okay, because I'm passionate about it. I actually, when I was in junior high, grade 6, that's called junior high, I think. Grade 5 and 6, I rented a trumpet off you because I was in a local band, so I learned how to play the trumpet horribly, but I could play the trumpet. And then as a youth, my parents actually got me to play in a steel drum band because they used to play. My dad plays drums and bongos, and so he's like, "Hey, learn to play the steel drums."
I've seen your dad play the steel drums.
Yeah.
It's, and it's funny because I got to know most people in town. I got to know them by what their kids played in the school
That's
band.
right. That's
so
right.
It was,
Yeah. So I like instruments. I've never been able to master one. And I was like, you know what? The harmonica seems like a good one. I'm traveling prior to COVID often, and it's something to kill the time, and so harmonica. I'm gonna follow up with you on this reading, these sessions, these books.
You bet. You have my
after the
number.
show's done.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there are other opportunities to continue playing as
Yeah.
an adult. So
Yeah.
in town. So those are things worth looking at.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, well, I know we're going fast. We're burning through time, which is awesome. But I got to give Tanner his time in the spotlight. He has a segment called the Mac City Minute. He's going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
I have no idea what they're going to be, so best of luck. Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Alrighty, question number 1. How does it feel to have a Wikipedia page about yourself?
That was not created by myself.
Yeah.
Certainly that happened. We were able to take ownership of it.
Oh, cool.
And then get in and edit it. You can't remove what has been put on there as long as it's factual.
Right.
And which we just wanted to make sure there was other context put in there. So how does it feel? I don't know if it's an honor or if it, I mean, any kind of advertising sometimes is good advertising.
Yeah.
So I really haven't given it that much thought.
Okay, that's neat. I want a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that's a dream.
Yeah.
I'll start one up on you. There you go.
Okay. Cool.
Question number 2. What was it like going to high school in New Zealand?
Wow, that was an experience. You know, yes, my family moved to New Zealand in the 70s. My father was originally born and raised in New Zealand.
Okay.
Immigrated to Canada in about 1956.
Cool.
And so at one point we decided it was time to move the family back there.
Yeah.
Actually, when I graduated high school, it's a lot different than Canada.
Right.
The whole school system is different. They have all boys schools and all girls schools, but we had co-ed schools as well. So
Right.
I attended one like that. It was you wore a school uniform.
Yeah.
And in many ways, I found that to be quite effective because you didn't have to think about what you were going to wear to school.
That's
every,
right.
Every morning.
That's right. Yeah.
You
You
just
can
had to make
focus.
sure that you had shined shoes and
Yeah. Yeah.
and clean fingernails.
That's
and
right.
It was an interesting experience. Of course, it was a series of buildings throughout as well, so they didn't have the big complex like
Yeah.
they would with the Composite High School.
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Father
Yeah.
Mercredi. So it was interesting. It was a very disciplined school as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, back then they still had corporal punishment.
Yeah.
In school, a lot of respect, and at the end of the school year, you all met in a gymnasium and wrote your departmental exams,
Yeah.
and then you were done. There was no graduations. There was no ceremonies.
Yeah.
I was just done, and they don't use a grade situation or a grade structure as much as they use forms. It's called
Interesting.
Form 1 through
Yes.
Form 6.
Yes.
So I got my university entrance certificate,
Right.
and my original plan actually was to stay in New Zealand, but I started missing home.
Yeah.
My hometown is Grand Prairie,
Right.
so I'm a born and bred Alberta boy,
Yeah.
and so I worked and traveled for for about a year,
Yeah.
and played in a band. We toured Australia. We did I did quite a bit,
Yeah.
but the opportunities weren't there.
Right.
And my drive and my goal was to become a professional musician. So
There you go.
so I moved back to Canada, 1980.
Very cool. Great question as per usual, Tanner.
Thank
Jeez, I don't know how you come up with this stuff.
Question number 3. What was it about Fort McMurray that pushed you to do your first run for council?
Ooh, I don't know if it was about Fort McMurray as much as it was getting involved, and I think that's something that everyone should consider doing at some level or other, whether it's volunteering, working with a board, working with a community organization.
Right.
In my case, it was early on, and I had about 2001.
Yeah.
One of my competitors, actually, he was vice president with the Chamber of Commerce, came to me, and we were friendly competitors and
Right.
borrowed parts off each other. And he showed up in my office and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I nominated you for the board of the Chamber of Commerce."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, for crying out loud, what'd you do that for? I mean,
Yeah.
I got a young family, I got a going concern with my business, I need to focus on this."
Right.
And he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's just all you got to do is a meeting once a month, a luncheon once a month, and kiss a few hands and shake a few babies, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
good."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went. I was elected as a board member, and then got involved. And
Yeah.
once you get involved, it's kind of addictive. You start getting little successes here and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We created the Red Link program, which was a local business opportunity program with primarily with the municipality, the college, and all of industry.
Right.
And once we got them on board, we just kept working towards the next goal.
That's right.
So and then 2004, it was through encouragement. I think a lot of people get onto a governance role through encouragement
Yeah.
of their peers. But I ran for president of the chamber, and I served 2 terms
Yeah.
as president of the chamber. There we went through, I thought we brought the level of the chamber up to a new level. We worked on things for the community. We worked with a lot of the nonprofit groups because we felt that how could you operate a healthy business if you don't have a healthy community?
Right. Right.
And so through supporting that, it was a more well-rounded, family-oriented community.
Right.
So, and then it just the pressure was there.
Yeah.
I know actually originally I had a lot of pressure to run for mayor,
Right.
and I looked at it and said, I can't run for mayor.
Right.
First of all, I need to run my business, and I can't take on another full-time job.
Right.
But secondly, I need to earn my wings.
Right.
I can't just step into that role, into that chair, and not have any level of experience in that type of governance. So I ran for council and was successful. I'm now on my, that went through until we did a second term, and then both Don Scott and I made the choice, and again it was through encouragement of others.
Yeah.
There was a provincial election coming up.
Yeah.
And we both sought the nomination for the PC party,
Right.
and were successful in the 2012 election.
That's right.
Yeah. So then we went provincial.
Yeah.
Of course, in 2015, then Rachel Notley and the NDP party decided to invite myself and 60 of my colleagues to seek other opportunities.
Yeah.
And there was a complete changeover in government.
That's right.
So I took a bit of a break there, but during that period of time between 15 and 17, I was involved with, I had to be involved. So I chaired the Center of Hope board and sat with the SPCA board. And
Yeah.
I just continued on
There you go.
doing what I could.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's input makes a difference.
Yeah.
So and all the new fresh ideas that we get through new fresh people.
That's right.
And certainly in this election, you're going to see a lot of new faces
Yeah.
on this municipal council.
Yeah.
So I think that's great that people feel the calling
Yeah.
to come out and help to do something in a positive fashion.
There you go. All right, Tanner, next question, my man.
Question number 4. What is one thing that owning a long-time business in Fort McMurray will help you in your mayoral run?
I think that's a good question. I think that in the long run, it's the mixture of experiences. And I've never said that a municipality should be run like a business,
Right.
but it doesn't need to be run with sound business practice.
Okay.
And to be clear, the mayor doesn't actually run the city. The mayor's goal and his role is to chair and lead a group of governance people in steering a direction for the municipality.
Right.
Create a vision, a focus, create a budget, and then turn that over to the CAO to execute, or one employee.
Right.
The mayor and council do not go out and operate the graders and fill your potholes or shovel your snow.
Yeah.
Our role is to set a direction and a vision,
Yeah.
and then ask questions when something is going offside.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of opportunity for the next term yet. Certainly, we've all been impacted since the wildfire, and things have started on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
We went from that to a downturn in the economy. We had a flood and another natural disaster.
Yeah.
My wife jokingly says, "What's next? Locusts?"
Locusts, yeah, that's right.
How much more can we take?
Actually, we've had the locusts. They were the year we had the caterpillars.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah, that's right. We're getting them all. Yeah.
But you had to bring that up again, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. No, it's so. But we, I think that there's still opportunity right now. And Wood Buffalo was always, that was it. It was the place to move to where there was always going to be opportunity.
Correct.
A great place to raise a family. I mean, I've had people come to me and say, "Where else can I come home from work,
Yeah.
take my suit off and get changed into my jeans, and 10 minutes later being out in the middle of the boreal forest?"
Right. That's right.
The fishing, the boating, the recreational opportunities.
Yeah.
We can still do better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm always striving to do, is to make this a community that people want to move to, call their home,
Right.
and choose this as where they want to live, work, and play.
There you go.
And your final question. Being a politician, business owner, and a family man in Fort McMurray, what is your favorite part of being a part of the community on so many different levels?
Well, sometimes it's tiring, but and quite frankly, I don't even consider myself to be a politician.
Okay.
The term politics comes from two Latin words, poly meaning many,
Yeah.
and ticks meaning little tiny blood-sucking creatures.
Okay.
No, I think that on different levels, there's never a dull moment.
Right.
And everything I do, I'm looking for an outcome.
Yeah.
So whether it's with my business, which unfortunately I've had to now shut down,
Right.
things like that, you always had an end goal. You know, our goal was to you obviously to be profitable, but to stay on top of the market trends.
Yeah.
With a governance role, and I consider myself to be more of a community advocate. We set a path, we set an objective, and then you come up with the most productive way to meet that objective.
Right. Right.
So, and I've had many challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Been successful in many,
Yeah.
unsuccessful in some.
Right. Right.
But and it's as you know, this role or politics is
Yeah.
you can make some of the people happy some of the time.
Right. Right.
And
Cool.
those have been your 5 questions.
There we go.
Wonderful.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Great. Man, that was very interesting to hear those answers. So thank you for that, Tanner. Once again, I don't know where you come up with these questions, bro.
The seat right behind the computer.
Yeah.
And all the cameras.
Yeah,
There you go.
my Wikipedia page.
There
it's,
you
yeah.
go. So we've come to the end. 20 minutes flown. Tanner gave me the sign, like, wrap it up. So that's cool. I know it flies. So we're at the end of the show, Mike. Thank you very much for coming. Totally appreciate it. I've told everybody that comes on the show, please, please, please come back. So I'm telling you the same thing I've told everybody else. We'd love to spend more time with you and learn more about you. So please come back.
Happy to.
At the end of the show, though, you get, this is your time to shine. You get a shameless shout out, a shameless plug. I have a feeling I know what you're going to plug. But this is your time to shine. So please, the microphone is yours. Go.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
Again, I'm going to just focus on what's the current events, and
Yep.
that is we're going to have a new council. By ways of this particular time, I believe I have the knowledge and the experience, and it's well-rounded. I think I have a proven past for getting things done, and I think I'm the right person to steer this municipality into the next generation. So I'm working to earn your vote, and I hope that people will stand with me and participate, regardless of who you vote for. Please, please, please. We have a very low voter turnout history. So, but research your candidates, get to know who they are, and just get out and vote. That is the most important thing.
There we go.
I think that we have an opportunity ahead of us. It is going to be almost all a very, very large level of new candidates that are running. And what we're looking for and what we need is a diverse group of people that have energy and enthusiasm and all want to do the right thing. They don't always have to agree, but we do have to be a group that can debate respectfully, and whether you win or lose, you
Yeah.
just move on to the next item and you respect the decision of your peers.
There you go.
So that is my goal, is to help lead and steer a group that in a productive fashion that is working for the community.
There you go. Awesome. That is a great shout out and plug. Good job. Okay, sweet. Okay, well, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, that's been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for tuning in. It truly does mean the world to me. Hopefully you're having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.